to help you embrace. No more relying on pills they don't know. She's got the strength to help you grow. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Medicine shelves are emptying out. Finding real strength, that's what it's about. No more prescriptions tying you down. With Shayna's help, you'll wear the crown. Ladies, hear the call, it's time to rise. Shayna lifts the veil, opening eyes. No more shadows breaking your day. With her wisdom, fight pain away. Broken paths don't mean you're lost. Shayna shows to bear through the cost. Healing hearts one smile at a time. With Shayna, you'll shine forever and feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to a life so free. Her healing touch, she'll set you free with.
Hey, hey, guys. I don't know if you heard the news. Did you hear that nurses aren't professionals anymore? Oh my God, this new thing includes, stay tuned, fellow nurses, NPs, PAs, audiologists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech pathologists, and those with master's degrees in business and engineering, as well as public healthcare workers. According to our lovely US government, you are not considered a professional anymore. I'll get into it a lot further, but stay tuned. I am Shayna Melissa Stockman, a registered nurse and a nationally board certified nurse practitioner over 30 years who considers myself a professional. I empower mostly ladies, especially autoimmune warriors and medical mysteries, to get and feel better, reduce or eliminate their symptoms, flare ups, and reliance on medications, even when the doctors and the medicines didn't. All right, we have some very special news for you. Before we get started, since Thanksgiving is fast approaching, if you haven't already de-stressed before the holidays so that you can relax and chillax for the holidays, go right now to worldwellnessexpert.com/de-stress and claim your bundle now while you still can. Just enter in coupon code SAVE50, all lowercase before it expires. You will gain immediate access to tools to help you de-stress before the fast approaching holidays so that you can relax and enjoy them more. And there's also cool bonuses for your kids, your babies, and grandbabies that can help empower you to smile more, laugh more, and enjoy more during the holiday instead of after the holidays over. Okay, moving right along. There is so much negativity and bad news that I want to always start off with a good news section. First of all, since Thanksgiving is fast approaching, I want to thank you, the viewers, for staying tuned, for liking, commenting, following, and subscribing. If you haven't already done so, please do so. So thank you, thank you, thank you for our viewers. Your subscriptions and follows, comments, likes really help our message reach more people. So, did you guys know that Santa Claus is in town? I did cite him, as you can see right here. I saw Santa Claus. He was at the boats parade. Shout out. So tell your little ones, babies, and grandbabies that Santa is already around, so they must behave. And shout out to Anthony Gall because it was an amazing acoustic performer the other night and singer. And here we have other good news. We had the fundraiser for Bob Policastro and his beautiful wife Angela for Angela's house just a few days ago. Shout out to Top Golf. Shout out to Angela's house, Bob and Angela Policastro. They have a beautiful, amazing nonprofit for children with special abilities on Long Island and in the communities as well, in honor of his beautiful daughter, Angela, that had passed away. And Bob, for you that don't know it, we raised a lot of money for Angela's house, and I was helping with the silent auction driving the prices up. So I actually won a lot of the Ranger jersey, football jerseys, and really supported Angela's house as well. And Bob is also a fellow author in our #1 international best-selling book, Overcoming Life Obstacles. If you guys don't have it, just go to worldwellnessexpert.com/OLO. You can get the digital version. You can get the paperback on Amazon. You can reach out to me for personalized signed copies. I have some book signing events coming up local in Suffolk County, some happy hours, some nice restaurants, some places that play beautiful music as well. So reach out to me, get our newsletters, and you'll find out when they're coming up. Okay, we also had another fundraiser this past week to raise money. So for Sophia's Hope for Safer Tomorrows, shout out to Texas Roadhouse and the Chamber that helped with that. Shout out to Debbie that saw my show last week and actually went to Texas Roadhouse to show support for Sophia's Hope for Safer Tomorrow. It is to support women that were sexually assaulted and raped, to really get their life back and give them the emotional support and all the services they need out in the community. There's her, Sophia, and her beautiful mommy. It's a amazing nonprofit. I highly recommend supporting it. If you don't have her book, get it. Okay, moving right along. We have other good news. I want to welcome the newbies to Your Wellness Journey 3.0 90-day program to give them everything they need when they're struggling with symptoms, flare-ups, autoimmune issues, or just want to learn more how they can help others. We want to welcome a few different countries on: Canada, Philippines, US, Pammy, Tracy, Izzy in New York, Liz, Gladys, Irene. Oh, there's some of them. Some of them are more discreet, so we don't show their faces, and others aren't. There is Izzy. There is Tracy. Shout out to Tracy. I believe she's in New Mexico. And Sue also jumped on board. Welcome aboard to Your Wellness Journey 3.0. For those of you that aren't registered and are interested, drop down below Journey, or just reach out, or start off with our Reclaim Your Life super bundle that I'll talk to you more about in a moment. All right, and then here's a photo from yesterday. Welcome aboard, Irene, to Reclaim Your Life Super Bundle, and thank you for picking up a personalized signed copy of our book, Overcoming Life Obstacles. Yay! If you guys are interested in starting the Your Wellness Journey 90-day program and you don't know where to begin, you can start by going to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim and gain instant access to our recent super workshop. And that'll give you a great idea of all about the 90-day program. Just enter in coupon code SAVE50. That will apply to both bundles, the Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop Bundle and the Distress Before the Holidays Bundle. Use coupon code SAVE50, all lowercase, before they expire. So again, if you want to join Your Wellness Journey, you can reach out to me or start off with this Reclaim Your Life Super Bundle has lots of gold nuggets in it as well. And I also want to give a shout out to Matthew. We met up yesterday and to discuss business, and I had my first cup of coffee in years. Years, years, years. There's a cup of coffee. Now, I don't drink coffee for a number of reasons. It's a quick fix. You need energy, then you skyrocket up, you bottom out, and then you throw in a ton of sugar, artificial color sweeteners, preservatives. Then a lot of my clients and patients were doing so much coffee that it's pure acid. There's molds in it, fungus. They were getting a lot of acid reflux, and they were needing a pill twice a day for the acid reflux, going to the doctors or myself for those prescriptions, going to the pharmacies, popping the pills, spending tons of money. So once I quit coffee, all of those symptoms went away. I didn't have laryngitis anymore, sore throats, throat clearing, acid reflux, wasn't needing medications for reflux, wasn't needing to spend on these doctor visits for prescriptions for the reflux, for the acid, for the coffee I wasn't doing any longer. So I just want to show you that sometimes in our busy lifestyle, we just need a quick swap out. So here's an example. A lot of clients that I switched from coffee to a healthier energy drink, they are now on 2 less prescription pills a day. That's 730 prescription pills less a year. So there's less chance of side effects, interactions, overdoses, dependencies. And over 10 years, that's 7,300 less prescription pills. But by the same token, they were spending $20 for each copay at the doctor, double copays for the specialist, then the pharmacy copays. And I added that up. On average, they were spending about $2,500 a year just between the prescriptions, the doctors, the specialists, the tests that they needed. And in 10 years, that's like 24 grand. What would you buy with an extra 24 grand? So sometimes these simple swap outs can really help change the trajectory of your life, save you time, save you money. A lot of those gold nuggets in our current bundles, the Stress Before the Holidays and Reclaim Your Life Super Bundles. Now, when you look at how much time it saves you, check this out. If you spend a half hour a day going to the coffee place, waiting online, waiting for your coffee, sitting down, having it, a half hour a day times 365 days a year, that's another week of your life. That if you stop going to Starbucks, you can have an extra week of life to have more time to just do things that bring you great joy. Plus, you'd also be saving time from the doctor's visits, the pharmacies, the amount of time you need to work to spend for that extra money, and that would be saving you weeks a year. So I'm all about in your busy lifestyle, quick, easy, simple swap outs. So that's why I do this. Instead of coffee, I have a healthy, energizing drink. It doesn't have the mold, it doesn't have fungus, it doesn't have the pure acid of the caffeine. So I'm not getting highs, lows, jitters, palpitations, dependencies. I'm not getting the sore throat, the reflux, needing the prescription pills, needing to spend for the medicines, go to the doctors. Plus, these healthy drinks don't have the carbs, the artificials, the sugars, and they have natural adaptogens to help me focus and concentrate all day long without any of that. Plus, they don't have the dairy in it, like when you dump in milk, GMOs, artificials, or glutens. So imagine just switching out coffee or a healthy, energizing drink to get rid of those symptoms, not need those meds, and save a fortune and a ton of time. So I'm all about simple swap outs. Okay, now moving right along, here's another picture from yesterday. Denise, shout out to you for your holiday guide. It is a printed holiday guide that goes out to thousands of people. Here's a picture of when I picked up the guides yesterday. That's a page where you have our Distress Before the Holidays bundle inside. Distress Before the Holidays, you can scan that QR code right there to gain instant access to it, or simply go to worldwellnessexpert.com/de-stress. It's an entire bundle with instant access and quick, easy swap outs to help you save time and money and save you from getting an ulcer before the holiday so that you can enjoy the holiday more. Now, I know Thanksgiving is right around the corner, but getting this bundle now will even help you before Thanksgiving and help you for the other holidays that are fast approaching. Just enter in coupon code SAVE50, all lowercase, before it expires. And like I said, there's nuggets in there to for your little ones, your babies and grandbabies, to keep them preoccupied while at home, on the trip, or out at the family and friends' house. Since we are talking about Thanksgiving month, I also want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Kudos Magazine. It is an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous magazine all about healthy, happy living. I want to give a shout out to Brady Eve Events Marketing and the founder of Kudos Magazine, Elizabeth Morosco, who's also the founder of Brady's Eve Events and Marketing. She does phenomenal work for your business, everything from live streaming to this beautiful magazine to postcards in your local community. And I highly recommend them. Postcards are great, printed postcards, because we're I have over 35,000 in my email inbox right now, but I don't get a lot of print anymore in the old-fashioned snail mail email box, regular mailbox. So having a printed postcard where it has several local businesses on it and coupons, those people will save that postcard for those coupons. And then when they need it, they're like, oh yeah, there's Shayna's thing too. So I highly recommend it. For my members in your wellness journey 3.0, 2.0, you guys already have this entire library shelf with all the prior magazines that I collaborated with them. I think we're up to 21 editions that I've collaborated with them, but they've been putting me graciously in the magazine for 21 editions, but they've been around for many, many, many years before that. So the members of Your Wellness Journey and Holistic Achieving for High Achieving Women, Holistic Healing for High Achieving Women, should have the latest edition in your inbox. If you're a member of our 90-day program or an annual member, you will have this full library shelf with the past 21 editions. You can scan, you can just go to worldbook.com/kudos to get your complimentary copy if you're not a member or in my program. There are quick, easy recipes in there. This month has conversation starters, right? You're seeing relatives you haven't seen in a while, you don't know what to say. There's phone-free activities you can do with family and friends for the holidays. There's tips to how to de-stress before the holidays, festive and affordable decorations, as well as tips for senior living. And absolutely love, love, love this magazine. I also want to thank the viewers again for tuning in, commenting, liking, subscribing, and following us. Um, in that magazine, it's clickable. So you can click the recipe that we have and go right to the video where I'm preparing that meal in my kitchen. Moving right along, I also want to give thanks to a longtime friend, Eileen. We've been friends since high school. And we just met up a couple of days ago. So shout out, thank you, Eileen, for supporting me for these decades, for being a true friend. We went out and had some sushi. I will not eat raw because too many microorganisms for me ever since I took microbiology, but I do have cooked Japanese food. And thank you, Eileen, for being such a dear friend to me. What I learned is I tried Wagyu again. Not a big fan. It's more of a marbleized meat from Japan and whatnot. But what can I say? All right. I also want to shout out a very big thank you to the Nurse Practitioner Association, especially the Long Island chapter. They had a tea party for the sponsors and the members, and this was just a few days ago on Long Island, New York. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the Nurse Practitioner Association, the presidents, the volunteers, the board, Tara, and our new president-elect coming on board. There he is right there. Also, I want to get into how nurses are no longer professions, okay? This blew my mind. This is nothing that our lovely president did. This was put into place before he was in office. Our State Department of Education Now, I believe nurses and these others are definitely professionals. My fellow nurses, nurse practitioners, PAs, audiologists, occupational therapists, social workers, speech pathologists, those with master's degree in business, engineering, counselors, and therapists. I believe you are professions. However, our state Department of Education decided what degrees are professional or not, and did not include those professional degrees as being considered as professional. And what that did is that will drastically reduce the amount of subsidized loans that these students will get. So those that are going to into nursing, now that it's not classified as a professional college degree, there will be less government money allocated to these degrees like nursing for students to get subsidized loans. Subsidized loans means the government pays the interest while the college student is getting that degree until they graduate. So now, say for a nurse, maybe she would have gotten 50,000 in a subsidized loan where the government pays the interest while she's in college. She might only get $10,000. We need to change this in our government now. This is a huge oversight. Please, President Trump, if you're watching, JFK Jr., Farmer Steve that collaborates with him, please, please, please look at this oversight, recategorize these professions as having professional degrees so that those going to college for these degrees can get subsidized loans. Otherwise, what it's going to do is our healthcare system already does not have enough nurses, nurse practitioners, that it's going to discourage future generations from going into colleges for these if they can't get the subsidized loans to go to college to become a nurse. So I please, 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 guys, reach out to your legislators and your government officials in your region. Also, moving right along, I reached out with some fellow nurse practitioners. This is a meeting just yesterday. Peggy, Mary Beth, Alice, Diane, and there was others on there. Sorry I didn't get you all in the photo. We had a meeting with our local legislators and assemblyman of Joe DiStefano and his assistant to discuss healthcare reform. Now, thank you, Joe DiStefano, because he gave me Healthcare Pro of the Year Certificate of Merit last year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it was nice to have you in our meeting yesterday with the New York State nurse practitioners to listen to our healthcare needs and try to remove barriers of healthcare for legislation, acts, bills, laws. And if you look at this next photo, please know that these are the bill numbers that you need to take into account. So if you want to reach out to your legislator or assemblyman, especially in New York, please write them a letter noting, please take a screenshot of this. These are the current bills that we are needing renewal of or activation of. That first one, making permanent the Nurse Practitioner Modernization Act for experienced nurse practitioners. I'll give you an example, and this is the example that I gave legislator Assemblyman Joe DeStefano yesterday. We need to make this permanent. I have been a licensed healthcare professional for over 30 years, a nationally board certified nurse practitioner with 5 college degrees, over 30 years experience, 4 nursing, nurse practitioner, and healthcare degrees. And we need to make it known that if I have my own practice, I can mentor and collaborate a new graduate nurse practitioner. And we want to be able to keep that because right now, if this act is due to expire in this coming year 2026, and if that expires, seasoned nurse practitioners like myself will not be able to collaborate with new grad nurse practitioners. They will require a physician. So the law means that a new graduate physician, MD, with no experience whatsoever could collaborate and mentor that new nurse practitioner. But if this act expires, the seasoned nurse practitioner with 30 years experience will not be able to collaborate with that new grad. So new grad nurse practitioners, for the first few years, they need to collaborate with a seasoned nurse practitioner or a doctor. But if this bill does not become permanent, that means they will no longer be able to collaborate with a nurse practitioner. They will only be able to collaborate with an MD, even if it's a new graduate doctor without any experience. And the doctors typically charge thousands of dollars. Plus, the other good point I brought up, if I have my own practice and I have a new grad nurse practitioner, I would like to collaborate with her, because if she has a question about our patient, I have the chart there with their allergies, the meds, their tests, and I know the entire patient's situation. Where if that new grad has to collaborate with an MD, even if he's a new graduate MD, she has to call him up. He might not be able to access the chart. He might not know that patient's allergies, meds, recent test results to even give her an accurate assessment of what she should do with that patient. So please support that bill. The other bill I'd like you to support is allowing nurse practitioners to sign forms that are within our scope of practice. Now, I can clear patients for 30 years now for brain surgery, heart surgery, to fly a plane, the pilots, to drive a NASCAR. But currently in New York, I can't sign a temporary handicap form because the form is so outdated. There's only a spot where it says physician signature, not nurse practitioner signature. So we have a bill now, and we asked Joe DiStefano to support these bills. He gave us his word that he will be supporting these bills moving forward, that will allow nurse practitioners to sign a form for a temporary handicap form for our patient to get a temporary handicap sticker. So if we're the only provider of that patient, they don't have to first go to a doctor to get a temporary handicap sticker. Okay, moving right along. Vaccines, I do want to touch on this because this is legislation. Thank you, RFK Jr., for making this happen. The government was, and I have to watch what I say here, the government was denying at all costs that autism was linked to, the jabs. They said no, 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 but they had absolutely no proof that it was not related. So what they did was, following our HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the CDC was forced to update the section of its website detailing the potential link between childhood and the development of autism and other conditions. Because before this, they denied and said they were not related. So now there is an update, bc.gov. You will see this update there. And currently, what it says is, let me just read you a sentence or two. DQA, Data Quality Act, requires federal agencies to ensure quality, objective, yada, yada, yada. The information they disseminate to the public, this website has been updated because the statement, vaccines do not cause autism, is not evidence-based claim. Scientific studies have not ruled out the possibility that, that infant contribute to the development of autism. So they're saying that, listen, we have not out that the vax is not related. So we are not going to say that anymore. And it is now on our website. HHS has launched a comprehensive assessment of the causes of autism, including investigation into plausible biological mechanisms and potential causes. And then it goes on and on and on. So basically, they are saying now that they're doing away with their statements that they used to stand by, vaccines do not cause autism, because that statement had no evidence backing it up, proving that the vax did not cause autism. And now it's on their website. We are making progress. It's a lot slower than I want. I've been talking about the problems with this for decades now. I never, ever, ever gave my patients more than one at a time. I encourage the parents to come back weeks later. I don't want to get too much further into this, but I'm going to go down this rabbit hole a little bit. If you look at this next slide, there is clear data that as MMR requirements was going up, so was autism rate. As the thimerosal amounts were going up that each child was giving, so did autism in exact parallel proportion. In my opinion, this is undeniable. Is this the only cause? No. I believe there's many factors involved: genetic, other things, environment, what the mom was eating, drinking, maybe glyophosphates that she was ingesting, maybe the vaccines mom was getting, because we now know that messenger RNA goes into the DNA and passes through the umbilical cord to the unborn fetus as well. So here's some correlations. There's also correlations of increased glyophosphates and autism as well. I have to do another whole episode on this. Now, I did share this with you guys on the Shayna Show 917 and 924, but I want to give you some more updates. The most profitable, what's the most profitable thing in healthcare, right? A sick child. Why do you think they're being targeted? Now, you guys don't have to agree with me, but please be kind and be nice. Um, Autism used to be 1 in 40K, 1 in 20K. Now, some of the studies show it's 1 in 12, and in certain parts of California, in boys, it's 1 in 8. Now, Dr. Oz and Trump, no matter what you think of them, they brought up very good points. The Amish do not give that to their children. The Amish have not one documented case of autism. Now, may there be one that we don't know about? Yes, it's possible. But do you think there's possibly a correlation between the MMRs going up, the thimerosal going up, the autism going up in direct proportion, the number of vax requirements going up in direct proportion to the autism? Do you think there's a correlation between none of the kids in the Amish community having autism, right? Like, yes, they don't eat some of our foods as well, but they also don't get this. They're not getting the mercury, the thimerosal, the glyphosate. Now, here's an example of the baby, and I also want to get into vets. Vets are now giving this to the dogs, and then the dogs can lick you, pass it on to you. We don't even really know. Um, they're now perfecting it in lettuce and cigarettes, and I hear cigarette smoking's making a comeback. Wonder why? Let me just keep rambling on about this for a quick moment. So I believe there's several factors linked to autism. I don't believe this is only one, but I believe this is a huge one as well. Also, we're making progress. Not only was it forced to put on the cdc.gov site that to take that statement down and prove that um, it's not been proven that autism is not linked to vaccines, but there's also been updates with Sid's vaccine case. There was an 11-week-old baby who was given 10 vaccines, died within 5 hours later, and I believe that case was just one in court. Before this, there was no vaccine injury cases, one in court, because the manufacturers are given full immunity from us even suing them. So the CDC has now been being sued because there is not one study proving that vaccines versus placebo. Okay, with all the drugs on the market, they have to do placebo, aka sugar pill, versus the real drug, and show that it doesn't cause a lot more deaths, a lot more adverse reactions. Now, with vaccines, there has never been a double-blind placebo-controlled study where they took kids that were just given, say, a sugar pill version of the vaccine versus the real medication. See, placebo controlled studies show some people get a fake version of the medicine, like nothing really in it, and some get the real medicine, and they compare them to see did the medicine group get a lot more side effects, interactions, deaths. And they do that with drugs before they become FDA approved. They did not do that with the jab. So there is not one study showing these kids had the vax, these kids did it, and their side effects and outcomes are about the same. That has never, ever, ever been done. So the CDC is being sued over that. There's also not been studies of the cumulative effects. How many vaccines are safe to give to a child at once and over how many years or long-term effects? If they've done a study, they've done studies with the jab for a few days. They have not traced these kids beyond a year or 5 years or 10 years when they're still developing. If you do a study with the vax for 5 days, do you think you're going to see the autism right away a lot of the times? No, it's cumulative results, like with anything else you do. Overeating, over drinking, it's cumulative results that add up. So also the Pediatric Society, American Pediatric Society, wanted to do away with religious exemptions for the vax because a lot of the vaccines come from aborted fetus cells, including but not limited to rubella, roto, rabies, anthrax, and varicella. Okay, yes, are there exceptions? May there be a rubella made by multiple companies and one version not have aborted fetus cells? Yes. So I am speaking in general here. Now, American Academy of Pediatrics wants to eliminate any and all religious exemptions, saying that even if your religion believes you cannot get aborted fetus cells, that your child is still mandated to have that for school. And the American Academy of Pediatrics is supporting doing away with any and all religious exemptions. I don't believe that should be. Manufacturers are currently not liable because our government made them immune or exempt. What else do I want to say? Oh, when there's aborted fetus cells in these vacs, let me give you an example. You ever hear of someone that had an organ donated to them, right? It could be a kidney, a liver. They're on like 20 anti-rejection meds for life. So their body doesn't fight the foreign substance from another human being. But what are we doing? We're taking another human being and it into our children. Now, if people that are given organs are in anti-rejection meds for getting substances in them from another human being, and we're injecting substances in us from another human being, and we're not given anti-rejection meds, you don't think we're going to have more autoimmune disorders? You don't think that's why perhaps they're on the rise? They were at 1 in 10 at one point. Now I believe the stats from my personal experience are more like 1 in 3. Why? Because we're injecting other human cells and DNA and RNA direct into our little ones. Um, Also, I want to say this. I know I'm going overtime. I'm almost done. The newborn baby, and I said this on my 917 episode and 924 episode, as well as over the years. And only these things are coming to light now, and only people are realizing, wow, I wasn't crazy. I was a trailblazer and the OG back then. Now, the newborn, if you look back at this picture or not of the newborn, I worked and I taught newborn nursery in the hospitals for years, the nursing students. And that newborn baby used to be given erythromycin ointment in the eyes because we didn't know if the mom had chlamydia, gonorrhea, and the baby was going through the birth canal. But then they started giving this ointment to babies that were C-section babies that weren't going through the birth canal and exposed to it. And then they were giving it to babies that moms tested negative for STDs or were treated. So it made no sense to me. Then they also give newborn babies vitamin K injections. I don't have a problem with the vitamin K. I have a problem with the other ingredients in there: metals, fillers, preservatives, colorings. Now, before the vitamin K injections were given, most of the babies lived, right? They didn't have problems with bleeding. Now, they're also given the newborn baby hepatitis B before it's discharged. I've been saying this for years. Thank you, RFK Jr., for bringing light to this. The hepatitis B is caught blood to blood contact, okay? Usually from sexual intercourse or IV drug abuse. Why is a newborn baby needing to get it? Especially if mom is negative and dad is negative, and especially if they're monogamous, and especially if mom and dad had the vaccines and their blood test shows they have full immunity and cannot get hepatitis B, and they're monogamous and mom was retested. Why is that newborn baby given hepatitis B within the first day of life? This is insane, should not happen well before it's ever developed. Maybe if they want to consider it after the baby's developed, before it's old enough to have sexual intercourse and IV drug abuse. Okay. The I can go on and on. The umbilical cords, right? They put antibiotic ointment around that. Then they give the boys, sometimes they give them like an emla cream to try to numb the pee before they do a circumcision. Then they put bacitracin around that. Then they give Tylenols to the babies with the fevers because the vaccine gave the babies the fevers. And this depletes their glutathione even further. And these vaxes and these heavy metals are depleting their glutathione. Then what they do is they schedule it out 4 weeks before when their immune system is still weak from the first set. Then when do they get a booster? At 4 weeks when their immune system's still down to knock those cells even lower. So thank you for letting me ramble about that. Please go to our YouTube channel and check out our September 17th and September 24th edition, as well as priors. I also want to say for those autoimmune warriors coming up, I have this event December 10th on Long Island, New York, in West Babylon, New York, in the evening. You are all welcome. There is going to be networking, dinner. I am the keynote speaker, the only main speaker. I will be talking about autoimmune alert, decoding your body's SOS signals. You are all welcome to attend. If you're healthcare pros, not healthcare pros, autoimmune warriors, members of this fine organization or not, I will be speaking to a lot of social workers, nurses, nurse practitioners, autoimmune warriors, to enlighten them about the signs and symptoms of autoimmune, the early signs and symptoms, what tests they should get, what are triggers, what's triggering their symptoms and their flare-ups, foods, drinks, in the environment. What are the root causes? How to attack the root causes? how to eat foods for their medicinal purposes, to use food as medicine or food is medicine, what I like to call food pharmacy. And those are all sections in my Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop Bundle, as well as Your Wellness Journey 3.0 90-day program. Okay, so if you guys want to go to that December live autoimmune talk, just drop down below 1210 or reach out to me. It's $20 in advance, includes dinner, the talk, 1.5 CEUs, $30 at the door if seats allow. All right, now we're here for the holidays, right? You got in-laws, outlaws, you're shopping galore, your credit cards are stacking up between the gifts, the airplane. Maybe we can move to the next slide. Are you guys stressing out yet before the holidays? Oh, can we go back one? Okay, cool. So here we go. We got all these problems before the holidays, right? We're shopping, we're spending money we don't have. We're buying airfare, hotels, in-laws, outlaws, the traffic jams. It's stressing us out. We have too much work, not enough time, and then we need to take off time. And how are we ever going to make up for that for the holidays, right? What if we can get rid of all that? Save you time, save you money, save you from getting an ulcer so that you can be stressed before the holidays. Look at this next slide. You're out in the snow, you're having a snowball fight with the babies, the grandbabies, you're dancing with your significant other, you're putting the little ones on your lap, you're having a PJ party, you're laughing and smiling, you have time to just sit, relax, and play with the dog. What if we could do that for you, right? So I'd help you save time, save money, and distress before the holidays so that you can enjoy the holidays more. So here's your call to action. Just go to worldwellnessexpert.com/. Get this entire bundle, immediate access to distress before the holidays to save you time, save you money, save you from getting an ulcer so that you can laugh more, smile more, enjoy the holidays more. And when you enjoy the holidays more, that is infectious and contagious and spreads to those around you. They're going to enjoy the holidays more. So if you go to wellnessexpert.com/de-stress, you can gain immediate access to the entire bundle, de-stress before the holidays. There is lots in there. There's lots of gold nuggets in there. There's immediate access. There's also digital and printable workbooks. There's stuff for your babies and grandbabies to keep them occupied when you're at home cooking, when you're out at the relatives. There's cool nuggets, surprises in there for you. Stress before the holidays. It includes some adult kiddie work, coloring books, adult workbooks, coloring books to just get your mind off things for a few minutes. Lots of gold nuggets to move your needle forward. Use coupon code SAVE50. You can use that coupon code for your Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop bundle. That's at worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim, which will help you, especially the autoimmune warriors. And use that coupon code on this. This is a great gift idea for people. You don't know what to get them for $47. Listen, it ships right to their inbox, ships right to them. Before the holidays, you won't worry about color, size, if it fits, if they have it or not. You just drop their email in and it'll ship right to them. You can get it for yourself, get it for them, use the coupon code multiple times. That's all I got to say. Sorry I went over, but I'm very passionate about what I do. And I'm not saying I'm totally opposed to this. I just want you to know all of the facts to make a fully informed, educated decision based upon all of the facts with your licensed healthcare pro. That's what I want to say. Some of those should be deferred to the child gets older after they've developed, right? Especially Hep B, there's no need for the newborn to have that. In my opinion, if that was my child, they wouldn't have that as a newborn. So I want to help you distress before the holidays. worldwellnessexpert.com/distress. Enter coupon code SAVE50. I want to thank you for viewing, for tuning in, for subscribing. I would wish each and every one of you a very safe, healthy, happy, joyous Thanksgiving, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, New Year's, and safe travels. I hope you survive the in-laws, the outlaws, the ex-laws. Until next Wednesday, same place. I'll see you then. Happy Thanksgiving.